Good morning everybody, it's Brett here, line out 84, and I'm going to do a quick run through of my tropical plant videos. Now, one of the things you have to contend with here is our drastic climate changes, even in so-called summer. To give an example, last weekend I was sitting out in the garden and it was about 75 Fahrenheit, 23 centigrade. So I was sitting out here in shorts and a t-shirt, and today I've got jeans and a long sleeve shirt on because it's 55 Fahrenheit, which is about 13 degrees centigrade. So it's literally in a week dropped 10 degrees centigrade or 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and that has very unpleasant effects on some of the tropicals. Now, first one here is my carambola or starfruit that pretty much all but died off in the winter in the kitchen. Doesn't like the dry atmosphere, keeps getting infested with spider mites, which are hard to get rid of when it's inside the house. So it has still got green leaves, and obviously this cold windy weather we've had the last 2 or 3 days doesn't do it any favours, but I'm still hopeful that in the next 3 or 4 weeks it will start to recover as long as the roots are okay. Next to it is one of my seed grown cherimoyas. This one's looking very healthy, has had flowers on it this year, but they won't set because I only get one at a time, so there's no way of cross-pollinating. Now, in front of it is my egg fruit plant or canistel. Now this has been suffering, you wouldn't think it in our climate, but as you can see the leaves are suffering from sunburn. They're scorched, but it's got to stay outside for the time being. I can't keep moving them in and out if it's sunny, so I'm hoping that it will simply adapt and recover, because being a tropical plant it should get used to it. Behind it is my Sapodilla. Now, I've repotted this. The root system wasn't very good on it, but I didn't think the soil was suiting it either. So I've repotted it, and although some of the leaves are a bit yellowish, as you can probably see, I'm not sure if that's focusing because the sun's shining on the screen, I can't see, but it has got new growth on it, which is quite promising. Now, behind that, let's see if I can get the label around because I can't remember what it is. Right, this is my Atimoya Gefner here. This is one that was originally purchased. It's looking okay, has got some new growth on it. Those are the leaves, and there's plenty of new buds budding out on the stem, so that's looking okay. Behind that is the second of my seed grown cherimoyas. Had them for several years, and that's showing lots of new growth as well on the top. It's looking promising. Moving down, I've got my strawberry guava. This is Psidium Cattleyana. This has actually got flower buds on it. Let's see if we can focus in on them. Not easy again with the sun shining. Probably just about make out the flower bud there. See if I can get them on this shoot better. Yeah, you can just about make out the flower buds. Very slow to develop the flower buds. They seem to have been on there for weeks and haven't grown much, but hopefully we get some warm weather, they will continue to grow. But that's one of my best and healthiest plants at the moment, putting on lots of new growth on top. Has a lovely red colour to it, and that's the strawberry guava, that particular one. In front of that I've got a this is a longan. This variety is Ho or Hayo, not easy to Ho, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but has got some new growth just starting to appear on it, so it looks like it's going to make a good recovery. Behind that is my ice cream bean. Thought it was labelled as Inga edulis when I bought it, but a lot of experts think it's the other one, Feuille it's pronounced, but See if I can spill that and put it on the video later, but that's my ice cream bean. To the right of that is another one of my seed growing cherimoyas, doing very nicely. I've got various tamarillos or tree tomatoes tucked away amongst the other plants. I've grown these from seed, repotted them in a video just a few weeks ago, and they're doing very nicely. Again, that's my seed grown cherimoya, starting to put out new growth now. There is my Backhoe, looking a bit weedy at the moment. This is the one that flowered last July, and I had 4 fruits off it this spring. They took about 9 months to develop. Can't see any signs of new flowers on it yet, but I think it's recovering from its winter rest and dormancy period. So I'm hoping that these leaves will start growing strongly soon, and we should see some flowers in July and August again. Next to that is my rose apple. That's a little cream flowered oval one. That's been putting some new growth on. Yeah, that's got some new growth on it. It's pink when it comes out. One of the leaves has been damaged by the winds, because it had some heavy winds this week. Another tamarillo. It's probably my strongest one. Now in front of that, I've got a pink guava. I think the variety is Stone Ruby. That didn't do very well last year, but it looks to be recovering now as well. Behind that is my very sad Kumquat. Almost completely lost it about 2 months ago from root rot, and I had to do a bare root, removed all the old soil. See if I can just hold this with one hand and pull this leaf out of the way. Removed all the old soil, and all of the branches had died off on top, except for one thin one that kept some green. And if I can move this down here, there's lots of new growth coming on it from above the graft, so I think we've saved that now. I've only got one mango left. Has got signs of new growth on it. This variety is Keat. I wouldn't say it's brilliant, but it's still alive, so that's better than nothing. Behind here, lots of growth on my lychee, which is the one that I had from a rootstock when the top part of the plant had snapped off and left me with a rootstock, which was a bare stem, and it's put out branches and grown, so I thought I'd carry on growing it just for fun. In front here I've got a named cherimola. That's an Annona cherimola. This one is Madeira, looking quite good now. Behind that I've got a named lychee, Guava pink. It's been very slow to take off, but it's starting to get going now. My grapefruit Star Ruby has had a few flowers on it, late spring, early summer. Has in actual fact, if I go round here, still got an embryo fruit on it. Doesn't want to focus as usual. Now that's bigger than the ones that I got in autumn that dropped off, but obviously it's very yellow rather than green, so it shouldn't really be yellow until it's ripe, so I can't imagine that's going to stay on, but we'll wait and see what happens. That's my grapefruit Star Ruby, but otherwise it's looking quite healthy. Flipping over to the other side is my yellow guava. This is the one that I had to bare root 2 or 3 months back, and it now seems to be making a very strong recovery. And finally, my not fruiting plant, but my beautiful pink flowered Brugmansia, which is doing quite well. So that's pretty much a tour of my tropical fruits that I've got outside at the moment. Mostly doing well. They were enjoying the very warm weather we had a week or so back. In fact, all of May was lovely, but of course now the temperature's dropped in the last few days, and we've had some very cold winds, which does not suit the outdoor tropicals. But I can't keep moving them in and out, it's ridiculous, so they've just had to be outside and suffer it, and hopefully it'll toughen them up. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. This is Brett. Much appreciate you liking the video. By all means, share it with anyone you think might be interested. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and if you hit the bell you will get updates of new videos as I post them, and obviously I'll feature some of these plants in more detail in standalone videos. Catch up with you soon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Brett out.